Hello. So lately I've been thinking a lot about how life doesn't always get lighter by adding more, but actually by removing things. So in this video I wanted to share a few things that I have been letting go of and how that's been feeling for me. I've been noticing that I feel my best when things are simple and not when I add more, but when I take things away. So I wanted to share a few things that I've been removing from my life lately. Sometimes it's not about adding things, but about removing them. It's not about achieving more or doing more, but about subtracting things. Sometimes when I try to add things or when I try to do more things, I notice that often I just make things more complicated. And then I notice how I get drawn back to emptiness and simplicity. For me, many things in life work better when I subtract instead of add. It can be difficult because there's such a strong pull towards adding more, especially when it comes to health and productivity. But I have to remind myself it's not about more, it's about the absence of complication, and I prefer things to feel lighter. I'm not sure if I'm the only one who feels tired of this constant focus on endless productivity and always bettering ourselves, and I just try to focus on other things instead more. The absence of strict morning routines focused on productivity. Honestly, at this point, nothing feels more important to me than having slow mornings and to just enjoy them. And I prefer soft rituals based on being present instead of strict morning routines focused on productivity and efficiency. And with that, I mean I like to drink lots of coffee, water, or tea, and just doing my simple makeup and hair routine, listening to some music, cuddling with my rabbit, Laurier, and a little bit of looking at my phone in between. Sometimes I just like to sit in stillness and think. Other times I close my eyes and meditate for a while, but nothing too forced. Nothing that has to be in a certain way to count. I don't really pay attention to rules or put pressure on that. I just close my eyes and enjoy the stillness. Especially in the morning, I don't put any pressure on myself to optimize every minute. And I just like to have some softer rituals and slower starts and to enjoy it more, be more present. I really love the small things and the daily routines so much. The simpler the better, and for me this is not wasted time because it wasn't productive. Sometimes I don't even know what the word productive means anymore because there's no end to it. And for me these small moments are the core definition of being alive and being present, these slow mornings. The absence of needing to feel busy all the time or doing fun things all the time, being over scheduled all the time. I feel like ever since childhood, there's been this push to be in a constant state of urgency, rushed mornings to get to school or work, homework in the evening, just fully scheduled days and no time to rest, no time to recharge. Always having to achieve with grades or to compete with sports and all of those things. But I really need stillness and being creative and play in life. And I allow myself to be okay with not wanting to do something every second that I'm free, to not always wanting to go out or hang out or to fill my free time. I really love resting, recharging, thinking and daydreaming. And for a long time I tried to force myself to be like my friends, family, acquaintances, colleagues and so forth, peers, whatever. But I could never keep up with that, and I also don't have to. And everyone is different, everyone has different needs. There is no need for comparison. It's more important that I listen to what I need and what suits me, even if that looks different from someone else. And somehow, for many reasons, solitude seems to work better for me, often. The absence of productivity and urgency pressure. And this also means less planners, less journaling, and less systems. Adding things like that rarely works out for me. And I feel relief when I remove things, especially things that I have to keep up with. I don't like the feeling of having to write every day or having something to do in the back of my mind. I always hated any kind of homework or things I had to do in my own time. And for me, it's just unnecessary mental noise. And I do have some spontaneous, creative writing outbursts, but usually these are more about creative ideas and things. But also with that, I try to be selective with what I keep. And the simpler the better, and the less the better. So why this was a bit difficult for me is because journaling and planners are often pushed in the name of mental health and efficiency, and also for me it sounded very good. And of course everyone is different, and I understand that this can really work very well for someone else, and that is totally fine. But for me it has mostly added complexity and some extra weight, mental weight, that I'd rather live without. I do still write things down that I need to do, that I need to remember, but I just have a very simple to-do list and nothing more. I don't force myself into mood boards or into structured planning, journaling, and those kind of things, and I do that without any guilt that I should be doing that or that it's better. I think that's different for everyone. For someone it is, for someone else it may not be. I'd rather just sit still and look out the window and just daydream a little bit, or go out for a walk, look at nature, and somehow that fills me up more than putting too much focus on self-improvement and achievements, just putting my attention more outwards. And the absence of pressure to always be more, to always do more, to always have to heal, to never just be enough, and to not be allowed to exist with also some darkness inside of you, or with pain, or just with negative sides, that there is so much pressure to have to improve all the time, to grow, to optimize everything. And I find that a bit tiring, to always be and feel alright, but also the improvements that never seem to end. And I'm slowly letting go of that, and letting go of needing to be efficient all the time, and just allowing myself to exist and do the things I feel like doing. Less visualizing, less self-help, less mood boards and all those kind of things. Sometimes I feel this heaviness when I see all of these posts about doing more, about productivity hacks, boot camps, and those kind of things. And I just take a breath, and I'm so relieved that I don't have to do that and put that amount of pressure onto me. I don't always need to improve or upgrade, and things are allowed to be peaceful and still. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, but for me, removing things has made life feel a lot lighter. And so these were some of the things that I have removed. And I'm curious to hear what some of the things are for you that you like to remove instead of add. And thanks so much for watching. See you next time.